Summer Streets is coming to a borough near you. The city is doubling the size of its Car-Free Streets program over the next 5 Saturdays and hosting the biggest block party spanning several neighborhoods.
Yeah, I mean, it all kicks off this weekend in Queens and on Staten Island. And here to tell us all about it is the city's Transportation Commissioner, Ydanis. So good morning, Commissioner. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
We're going to get to Summer Streets in just a bit, but we do want to talk to you just a little bit. The crane collapse yesterday, obviously, being handled by different agencies, including the Department of Buildings. But the street closures, they continue today, and how long do you anticipate?
It will continue today. Thank you to the NYPD, Commissioner Cavan, and the whole team, Department of Building. Also, they've been doing a great job being on the scene. The message is to all the drivers to please avoid going through that location, and to the rest of New Yorkers to use mass transportation.
Okay. All right. Well, now to Summer Streets. We know it is expanding from Manhattan to Queens and Staten Island. What was the reasoning behind this?
Only Mayor Ydanis is able to see under his leadership and myself to be able to know that equity is more than a simple word. Equity is about paying attention to invest in underserved community so that they also get to enjoy the same thing that for 50 years, the residents in downtown Manhattan from Brooklyn Bridge to 79th Street were enjoying open street. Last year, we took it to 109 in Park Avenue, but this year we're going to Harlem.
Yes.
We're going to 125th, and also we're going to the Bronx, we're going to Brooklyn, Queens, and what the mayor has said, Staten Island is not a forgotten borough anymore, so we're going to Staten Island too.
Love it.
So for those boroughs that never experienced this before, what can they expect to see?
A lot of entertainments, educational, wellness. It's going to be a great day where they will see what does it mean to use an open street. How we can use our street for other purpose more than just vehicle. So when you imagine Park Avenue that is very busy used by vehicles, and enjoying that day from 7 in the morning to 1 p.m. in the cycling community to enjoy those hours, but also people to walk. So this is what, it's going to be a great day of celebration as we know that we had to share our streets, but also not only Manhattan, but those communities that were never included in the past, they will get to see grand concourse, never was invited to be part. So this is going to be as someone that been living in the underserved community my whole life now to be able or expanding one of the great initiatives, which is Summer Street also to the underserved community, is something that will be, again, a great moment where New Yorkers and visitors, they invited to come in and take the street.
You touched a little bit on the expansion, Brooklyn and the Bronx also getting in on this, but who really benefits from this moment of expanding this program?
Everyone. I feel like even a day like today that you had to be in the street early. Yeah. You get to see the benefit, the quality of air when you walk without vehicles, and the way how you feel. So what we know is not only we doing Summer Street, but last year we did 214 open streets. Yes. A street that being used for culture, for educational, for entertainment. So Summer Street is not only a great moment that you can reimagine just walking up Park Avenue from Brooklyn Bridge up to Adam Clinton Park 124, but also we will give those who have never experienced to be walking a street that when you go through, all you see is vehicle. Right. So this is also a learning experience where people learn that the street doesn't belong only to those that have cars, that the street also belongs to children, their family, that they can use it for walking in our streets.
I have to admit that on Park Avenue, one time I sat in the middle of the street and was like, yep, I can sit on the street where all these cars usually are.
You really get to take it in and immerse yourself in it.
It is. It's like it's similar to the 5 borough bike tour. It's
it's really
when you are in the FDR, like riding a bike.
Exactly.
You say, how did it happen? So Summer Street provide that opportunity to our New Yorkers.
All right, we want to switch gears right now. Last month, you just announced a new innovative program to reduce the number of package thefts from delivery trucks also in the city. You have these new locations for lockers in New York City. Can you talk about that program, and where will these locker locations be?
Unfortunately, many residential buildings, individual New Yorkers, they placing the order through Amazon, UPS, and FedEx, and they're being still. And we feel that responding to that reality, we know that we had to bring safety to those individuals that they work so hard, that they place the order. They need to find it. So what we are doing is giving an option to any New Yorkers through this pilot project for them to place the order and be able to use it in an app that they will be able to have access to unlock one of those buses in the lock and be able to get a package. So we would like to see how that will work. It's a pilot project, but we know that based on the pilot project, we will learn a lot. We do know that there's so many packages that they've been installing from many residential buildings, and we think that this is going to be an option.
Where are you starting that pilot program?
We are still selecting the area.
Oh, you're still selecting. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so earlier this week we had Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson on, and she was talking about getting people moving on Fordham Road. We know the busway along there. You're looking to expand that. What are your ideas about that?
We had to expand it. Like, you know, like this is not a luxury. Like working class and middle class, they're the ones who are using our buses. We know that this is a city. I always say I was born and raised in the Dominican Republic. We are there composed by 33,000 square miles. 12 million people, but only 9.8 million visitors. New York City is a small density city in the whole nation, so we only are 350 square miles. So in order to share the streets, not only for vehicle, but also for more than 1 million New Yorkers and visitors who use the buses every day in Fordham Avenue, 31 million people use the buses every year. Yeah. So yes, we are looking to different ideas, alternatives that we have, but definitely we need to make changes so that ridership are moving quickly and more efficient on Fordham Avenue.
Yeah, and oftentimes Bronx is also a forgotten borough.
Yeah.
So, Commissioner, thanks so much for coming in and talking to us. We're looking forward to Summer Streets.
Thank you.